All right, hey guys.
Yo, is the mic on? Yes, it is.
It is Bill and Bob, and we are back with another episode. Today we are going to walk you through how to install and play Beat Saber using LIV and OBS and a virtual green screen. We're going to make this as quickly as possible.
Oh, and a Kinect 360.
Oh, Kinect 360. In the next future video, we're going to be using the Kinect 1.
For the Xbox One.
Which is version 2. Confusing, I know.
And it's a little bit of a mod, so it may be a longer video, but
Yeah.
we're going to try to keep this short and sweet.
So this video is under the assumption that you already know how to install software. We're not going to go through the entire process of installing every single piece of software. We're going to run down the software that you need in the order in which we think they should be ran and installed.
Right.
Let me just add a note. We are not professionals by any stretch of the imagination.
Take all of this with a grain of salt.
So do this at your own risk. We are not responsible for anything that you do.
Although there's no soldering involved like there is in the next video, so I think you're kind of safe just plugging in some drivers. But hey, you know what? You still do it at your own risk.
Okay,
Right.
so first I'm gonna display my screen, and then we're gonna go over the software that you need for everything. It's going to seem like a lot of when you first see it.
But we'll walk you through
But
it. It's
we
really
will-
not a big deal. Matter of fact, as soon as you do this a couple times, you're really flipping it up in like 5 minutes.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is the Kinect Windows for Windows SDK 1.8. Now this
Right.
is the one that worked for me and Bob. Let's scroll down because they can't see it in the window. There you go.
There you go.
I don't know why the screen is not.
All right,
The
so
right
Kinect Windows SD. So the software development kit. Now 1.8, I can tell you that there's many versions. Stick with the 1.8 if you're going to use the Xbox 360 version. We know that works well with the Xbox 360
Okay.
version.
So yeah, so stick with the X, and there is debate whether you need this or not. I can tell you I uninstalled this today and tried it, and it did not work for me.
And I duplicated the same thing, and it did not work for me, so it's recommended.
Okay, so the next thing you're going to need is, and this is depending on whether you're using the Xbox One or the Xbox 360 for the Kinects, and it's called KinectV1GreenScreen. If you have a one. This is the one you want, a version 1.
If you have an Xbox 360, then you want the version 1.
Right. If you have an Xbox One, then on the screen, if you just click on GiantSox, it will take you to his webpage, and from here you can either select the version 2 or version 1. So in this project, we're using the version 1 because we have an Xbox 360.
Word of advice, click on releases.
Yeah, you want to click on releases. Don't click on clone and download, or you're going to download the source code.
Right.
So make sure you click on the releases, download the zip file, and then extract the zip into a directory. And that's what we're going to show you what we're going to do. The next thing you need is open broadcast software. This is OBS. It's the standard in, I guess, broadcast. Everybody uses it.
It's not uncommon.
There's two types of open broadcast service software that we use. We use this for the Xbox 360 Kinects in the green screen, and then we use the Streamlabs version of OBS to do our broadcasting. So we have both installed. When you install the VirtualCam, which is the next thing, it's this tab here. So you'll install this software. When you install the software, it's going to ask you to point to your OBS software. So make sure you install OBS first and then install this VirtualCam and point it to your OBS. It could find it. I believe it does find it and then installs to it. But if it doesn't find it, it may ask you to point to
Point
it.
to the executable. And we're rapid firing these, but we're going to explain them in a little bit as we go through.
The next two pieces of software you're going to need is the LIV, L-I-V. This is the software that uses the green screen to give you the mixed reality in VR. And the last and final piece of software that you're going to need outside of the additional OBS for streaming is the VIVR software. And this software is used for configuring your Xbox 360.
Right.
And we're going to go through that.
Now, there is a beta version of the VIVR software. We're not going to be using that beta version. I did use that beta version a little bit today, but we're going to stick with the other version, the one that's readily available. So we don't recommend opting into the beta unless you want to play around with some new features. But we're a little unsure about those new features.
So let's see if we have anybody in chat right now. No, I think we're good. Okay, so with that said, let's go through the first steps. So you installed OBS, you installed the VirtualCam, you got them set aside. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to launch the green screen app. The green screen app, you're going to put into a directory. It should look like something like this when you extract it. Let me switch it over to the desktop so you can see. It's going to look like that when you extract it. And let me bring this up. All you have to do is double click on the executable, and as long as your Kinect is plugged in, the Kinect comes with a USB. It's not a standard USB jack. You have to buy the power adapter that connects into the USB to connect to your PC. So, but the good thing is that power adapter is fairly cheap.
Right, for the Xbox 360.
Xbox 360. The Xbox One,
forget about it.
It's astronomical.
Just forget about it.
Ever since they discontinued the Xbox One and the power adapter, that power adapter is skyrocketed all the way up to like $200.
To $300.
And which is why, hence, we're going to do the next video with the mod on how to make your own power adapter with a standard USB 3.0 cable.
And that mod is coming up shortly. Matter of fact, we have everything. We just got everything in the mail. It heads up. It is going to require a little bit of soldering skills. You will have to open up your Kinect, so stay tuned for that upcoming video.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and double click on the green screen. This is going to launch a virtual green screen. Now, the benefits to this to a real green screen is this covers a large area of your room. And I'm going to demo that real quickly.
Yeah, now you could see in the background.
Yeah, if you look back here, if I were to put a green screen back on this wall, it would cover this doorway right here. Now, the green,
right over here.
I'm going to put the green screen. Yeah, so Bob's going to walk here, and that's about where I would normally hang my green screen.
And if you look over here, we do have enough. If Bill can shift a little bit.
I'm going to shift over.
We do have enough green screen to do that. We have enough green screen to cover this entire wall.
Right.
And it is very possible. And it's probably the better option if you have the right lighting.
Right. But let me demo this real quick for you. So I'm going to step back and step into the green screen environment. Now, the way the Kinect works is when I walk in here, you can see now I'm in between. Now, obviously I'll turn on some lights. So now, look, if I walk close enough, I will disappear. Right here, I'm about a foot away from the Kinects. If I walk back too far, I will disappear. You'll start to see me disappear.
Don't kill yourself,
right
bro.
Here. And it just happens to be the end of my play area. So you can see it covers a good portion of my whole room. And that's the advantage of this software, is that you now have a green screen throughout the entire room.
And if I can, real quick, if you notice right here, this is where we have the Kinect set up as of right now. So we have the Kinect facing the middle of the room, which, you know what, because you're able to change in some games, and the game that we're going to be working with today is Beat Saber, you are able to move around that environment, which means that no matter where you put that camera, you're going to be able to focus yourself. So,
Right. Okay, so once you get this up and running, make sure your Kinect.
So we're going to show the green screen here.
So make sure your Kinect green screen is working. Make sure that you just did what we just did, and that's walk in front of it to make sure you can see yourself. Get the lighting on you correct. When you do an actual green screen, it will, you have to make sure the lighting on the green screen is correct, but just make sure that the lighting on you is correct.
Now, one note is up here at the top where Bill has his arrow right there. You will see an icon if your Kinect is not found.
Yeah, it'll be right here. I'll have an explanation.
We would recommend that you check your SDK to make sure that your SDK.1.8 is installed properly. But if I go in front of the green screen right now, you're going to see that I am visible on the green screen. And if I walk close to the green screen, the closer I get, the more I disappear. If I walk far away from the green screen, the further away I get, the more I'm going to disappear. So, you know, the green screen from where it's at as long as you put it in a spot that's visible in your play area, you should be fine because you're going to be typically standing and walking around in the middle of the play area.
Right. So the next piece of software you want to launch is the OBS, in which you installed the virtual cam too. So when you launch OBS, it's going to come up with a blank window. This one's already configured. OBS will come up blank for you. What you want to do is configure that green screen on the bottom. And I apologize. Let me try doing something real quick here. I'm gonna make it so you could see all of the screen. I should have did this beforehand, and I do apologize. I do. Okay, so now hopefully you see the whole screen. Okay, so make sure that when you launch your OBS, you have. I'm going to delete this game capture so we can start fresh. I'm going to remove this.
Now, by the way, dude, you do this a little bit differently than I do this step. So just to let you know, there's multiple ways of doing it.
Okay, so what you want to do is you want to add a game capture source here. So just click on the plus, click on game capture. You can keep it named game capture, name it green screen, name it whatever you want. Say okay. It's going to come up with this window. And then if you use the drop down and say capture specific window, you'll get another drop down right below it. Click on that and capture the green screen window. And what's going to happen is this is going to pop up. Now your goal on this is to center the top and bottom to the screen. So just kind of grab it.
Well, here's what I do.
Okay.
You know how you grab the white and get rid of it here?
Right.
I grab the white and get rid of the top and bottom also.
Okay,
and
so
then just expand.
If you hold down your
Alt, I think
no,
it is.
it's the control key, I think.
No, I think it's Alt.
Is it Alt?
Yeah, Alt.
So if you click on it, hold down your Alt key. See how I'm dragging? I can drag it in, but it's not dragging in the window to make it shorter. It's actually just dragging the side in. So I'm going to drag the Alt key in until I get it on the green screen itself, and do the same thing for the left, and then do the same thing up and down.
Because your goal is you only want to capture what's green. You don't want to have anything that's white in there because that'll be visible. And I think you have a little bit of white at the top.
Yeah, let me just drag that down just a little bit.
There
we go.
You got it.
And now
And then you
make
want to let
this
go Alt.
make this as big as you can on the window. Don't worry about left and right. And you notice I still have a little bit of white here. I'm going to drag this over and drag this over. Now, if you'll know it's working, because if I go back and still walk in front of the camera, you'll still see me now on the OBS screen. So,
And that's the goal. Make
That's
sure
your goal.
that you're able to capture in OBS.
okay, so once you get this launched, what you want to do is go to Tools, and if you successfully installed your VirtualCam correctly, you'll have VirtualCam. Click on that, and it will pop up with a window that looks like this. What you want to do is make sure that this horizontal flip is checked, and then click on Start. You don't have to worry about the keep aspect ratio. I have it checked, but you don't have to have it checked. And click Start. And this is going to launch a virtual cam so that when you're using LIV, you will now see it. So you have this. This is a good portion of the work already done.
Right.
So the next things we're going to do is configure LIV
Yeah.
and configure VIVR.
Now at this point, if you have somebody to help you, that's probably a better idea.
Yeah, it is a really good idea.
It could be a two-man job.
Kill this light.
Yeah, we're going to kill some lights. Now, I can tell you that.
No, you know what? I'm going to keep this on.
Yeah,
because we're gonna be configuring
virtual
everything.
green screen worked pretty good tonight, even without the additional lighting. We're right now using house lighting. I can tell you that if this is a good, cheap way, alternative way of doing lighting, you can get these from any hardware store. The bulb in here is one of the, what is it, the bright?
Yeah, the LED
Natural light.
Natural light
Bulb, and then you put a piece of wax paper over it to diffuse the light, and it's perfect for lighting up the player or a green screen if you're going to do a green screen.
Yes, these work. These work wonderful.
Very cheap, a nice alternative way of adding more lighting to your
Okay,
scene.
so let's go back to the software. Let's go back to the desktop. and we are going to go into our VR application, and I'm going to launch my my Vive to get it working. So I'm going to click on the SteamVR, and you'll notice that the SteamVR comes up, and it's very important to make sure that both controllers are turned on at this point. So make sure both controllers are turned on, make sure they're activated. You're going to notice, you will not notice at this point these two icons. They will not be on your screen. These are only here because we've already installed the LIV. So you've downloaded LIV from the store. That's free of charge. You downloaded VIVR. That's also free of charge. The first thing you want to do is launch this software.
Now
here.
we're using the public beta. You don't have to use the public beta. But, you could stick with the regular one, but we're testing a few things. So
yeah, so we opted into the public beta. So I mean, that is something you can do. So once this comes up, it's going to look like this. But yours is going to have an install here to install the drivers. Once you install these drivers, it's going to ask you to reboot your SteamVR. Do that. Reboot your SteamVR, and if you're successful, then you'll have these two grayed out icons. You cannot really proceed to VIVR until this LIV, one of these trackers is lit. We're going to be using the head tracking. So what you want to do is once you reboot your SteamVR, and you have, and you'll probably want to reboot this as well, relaunch it, and then launch Compositor. You're going to launch Compositor, but you're not going to use it right now. You're just going to launch it. When you launch it, a black screen is going to come up. But the LIV tracker icon will activate on your SteamVR software. So that's the whole goal, is just to get this active right now. Once you have this active and this is green, go ahead and close back out of the LIV client. You can close out both of them.
we're going to come back to it. But
Yeah, we are going to come back
You
to-
just need to close it out just to get the LIV.
VIVR will only work if this is activated, so you have to do that in order to get VIVR to work. So once that's lit, then you're going to launch the LIV VIVR application. Okay, let me see if I can't put this window here, which I can. Okay, so we're going to do our best because I can't shrink this window down, I don't think. No, but Bob, if you can kind of navigate
Yeah,
them.
well,
So you'll have this window up, and the first thing you'll notice is that it's going to detect your webcam. Make sure you drop down this window and put it on the OBS camera. You'll have OBS camera there once you install the software.
It may not detect a webcam, but it's going to try to detect whatever video capture device you have as
Right.
default.
Then after that, click on auto detect. You're going to see that it changes. In our case, it changed to number 4, which is a generic tracker. The whole goal here is to auto detect. This below should say connected, and this should say tracking. If this doesn't say connected or tracking, then restart your SteamVR. Make sure you have the VirtualCam running, and make sure this icon here is lit.
Right, but the
by
whole-
running the Compositor. This has to say connected and tracking.
And it'll only say connected and tracking if this up here detected your virtual camera. So if you hit auto detect and it didn't switch to your virtual camera for your LIV virtual camera, keep clicking it to see if it finds the virtual camera. But that's really what you're shooting for. If it doesn't find it, then you may want to go back into your OBS and make sure that your virtual camera is running.
Okay, so at this point, and Bob, you're going to have to play real, like toggling back
I
and
will.
forth here. So at this point, what you want to do is click on Start Calibration. And what's going to happen is it's going to bring up this window here, which tells you to push the trigger in order for it to start calibrating. So, Bob, I'll let you make sure that kind of everything is in view. If you want to switch to back and forth to the webcam view,
Okay.
I'll go ahead and show them.
And I'm going to try to stay out of the way here.
Okay, so what you want to have done is you want to make sure that you have the headset on your head. You don't have to be looking through it. You can configure this looking through the headset. I don't. I configure it looking at the screen. So,
Okay, so there's the view on what you would be seeing. Now, again,
you need to click back on the VIVR because I think I'm on the green screen. Oh, okay. All right.
You got it?
Yep. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, and you can keep it on this because they can see me on the virtual screen. It says press trigger to begin. When you do this, your controller is going to vibrate. One of them is going to vibrate. One of them will not vibrate.
Here, I'm just going to move this.
I'm going to go ahead and press the trigger, and you're going to see this X come up. Once the X comes
Hold
up,
on, now let me switch over to you.
once the X comes up, take your controller and take it right up to the 360 and make sure the circle part is in the middle of the lenses, the two lenses, and press your trigger. And when you do that, the screen is going to give you another X on the top of your
And I'll show that
your
now.
play area.
Right here.
You'll see right here. So now what I want to do is follow the instructions on the screen. I'm going back to my play area, and I'm going to...
Oh, hold on. There, can you see it?
No, let me turn up this light. It might be drowning me out. Okay. What you need to do is there's an X on your screen. It's on the top left-hand corner. You want to hover over the X. And
So this X right here is what you want to hover over.
you want to press your button. I'm just going to do this. I don't know if this is going to be accurate. And it's going to throw another X at the bottom of your play area. And you want to go down to the bottom.
And he's actually trying to locate. Now, on the screen, what he's
There you go.
doing...
You can see me now. See, on the screen, I'm trying to get my
Oh,
controller.
wait. Hold on. So I'm going to show you what he's seeing, and then I'm going to show you what the desktop is seeing. So the desktop is seeing him
This is
point
me.
to the X. That's what he's looking at when he's pointing to the X.
Okay, so now I have these controllers in my hand, and they're not quite right. So I can either do one or two things. And I think what I'm going to do here is, Bob, I'm going to hit the calibrate over again.
Okay.
Keep it on this screen.
Okay.
So can you select calibrate again?
Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's you have to start it in your headset.
Let me see.
There you go. Press any trigger to continue.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to go up to the thing. I'm going to try this again. I'm going to do this quickly.
Okay, so he's pointing to the middle of the 360 Kinect.
And then I'm coming over here. Oh, it's up at the top now. I'm going to make sure my hand is over. Now you can't see the circle, but you want to make sure the circle is in the X.
So he's making sure that the circle
And
of
then I'm
the
coming
controller
over here
is over the X.
and making sure my other circle, Bob, you're in my view.
Oh, sorry, and let me move this chair. There you go.
And I'm going to make sure this circle is right here.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me get out of your way.
So now I got the controllers in my hand. Actually, you can see they're just a little bit off. So there's a couple things you need to fix here. You need to fix the latency. So if I move up and down, you're going to see that moving up and down really impacts the controller.
Right, now here's where having two people will help, because I can control the settings over here while he's moving things to actually get things squared away and set up.
So the first thing we're going to do is adjust the latency. So you want to drag the latency bar.
This bar down here at the bottom.
Until it matches your hands. Is it not working?
Yeah, it's not moving, the latency. Let me try one of these. No.
That's all right. It just close out of the VIVR. And then just relaunch it, and I'll run through this setup one more time real quick. It's right there on your screen.
Okay.
Keep it on that. All right, you can drag it over.
Okay, start calibration. And it's not bad that you see this a couple times, because
I'm
you
not
will
seeing-
probably be seeing this a couple times.
I'm not seeing the green screen.
Oh, you know what? That was my fault.
What'd you do?
I don't think I detected it when I started it. Okay.
Yeah, you got to.
So let me run through it again. So we just launched it again. It will default to your video capture device. You want to switch this to your OBS camera. That'll bring up your green screen. You want to auto detect to make sure that your virtual camera is the camera tracker that is being done by OBS. And then at that point, you're going to calibrate. So I'm going to go ahead and start the calibration for Bill on this side. He's going to press any trigger in his controller to start it, and then he's going to start positioning himself so that he can track it. Now you want to try to get as far away from your play area as possible.
But not where it's inconvenience to you.
So you want to try to cover your play area. Now you can see that he's guessing. I got to get out of this way. He's guessing close to where it needs to be.
Now Bob jumped into the green screen, which now shows him instead of me. So he's got to get out of view. There you go.
I'm out of view.
Okay.
Okay, so now let me change the latency.
So now see if you can change the latency.
Don't press any buttons.
I'm not.
All right, so you want to move your hands. Okay, so the latency is way off here. Okay, so we're moving the latency. So you're trying to adjust this so that as you're moving your hands, it's tracking pretty good. And as you could see when you watched the video that we put up at first, our latency was not correct. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get it so that as you move your hands up and down, left and right.
Bring it down.
Yeah, see, I'm actually going too far for the latency. So now I'm just going to bring this down a little bit. That's getting close. So I'm going to drop this down a little bit.
That's almost good.
Close. I mean, it may be close enough for this demo,
Yeah.
but this is going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah, so take time to tinker with this. The other thing you want to make sure is that they're accurate in your hand. Now, they look pretty good in my hands right here.
Wait, let me get rid of
I don't
this.
think we need to do anything more.
Yeah, I don't know. Turn your hand. There you go. Turn your hand and walk up to the camera a little bit. And it looks like that. I don't know. It's pretty close. They could be moved up a little bit.
Up. So if Bob wanted to, he could
move this controller up.
Just up a little bit.
So I'm going to position, is it the X? Hold on. Am I going up there?
No, I don't think you are.
Okay, let me keep going down. And it takes a little bit of time, but you're trying to narrow down. Can you hold them still so that? I don't know which way I'm going.
Okay, I would keep it there. I think we're fine.
For demo purposes, I think we're...
Yeah,
well, you know what, dude? Hold on. Let me see. Can you go back up? I'm just going to... Can I slide this? Okay.
Yeah, I think for demo purposes, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing you want to do is export the configuration file.
All right.
I suggest doing this to your desktop.
Yeah, so right here, you have an export config. You're going to click on this. And you're going to drag. Now, we already have one on our desktop. I'm going to override. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we're going to override it. Anytime you move your camera, you want to override this. So we're just going to say yes, replace that existing file. And then at that point, we are done with the LIV software.
Okay.
All right.
So now at this point, you can close out of VIVR.
Yeah, so we're going to close out of VIVR. We don't need it. And the next thing we need to do is we need to launch the LIV actual LIV client.
Yeah, right.
All right, so I'm going to switch back over to the desktop and we'll go ahead and launch that. So the LIV public beta, we're going to go ahead and launch it.
Now, we already launched this before, but that was just to get the compositor working.
Right, so we already launched the compositor, so we're going to go ahead and launch it again. Now, you may get an error saying that you did not read the guide in order for you to continue, but we read the guide. Okay. So just to step you through a couple things here. this is going to allow you to pick some of your games that are already in your library, your Steam library. If you have a game that you're testing that does not show up in your Steam library, then you want to go to manual, and then you can see if it will launch manually by pointing to the executable.
Which I found works the best, by the way.
Yeah, so we find pointing it to the executable works better, but that's totally up to you. So we're going to start with the camera view. Right? So we're going to go to camera. Now, we have it on Kinect.
But just add a new camera.
Yeah, we're going to add a camera. We're going to add the device, and we're going to say it is the OBS camera right here. Are we going to keep the default?
Yeah, keep the default.
So we'll keep the highest default here. Okay, we're going to keep it my camera. That's fine.
No, don't hit save. You got to go to calibration.
And then we're going to go to calibration. Okay, and then at this point here, you're going to import, and you're going to point it to, click on file, from file, not from clipboard, but from file, and then you're going to point it to wherever you saved the config file from VIVR. In this case, we saved it to the desktop. We're going to click on external camera. That's the default name. We're going to press OK or open. It was successfully imported, and now at least it knows the camera view of VIVR.
Right, that's what we just set up in this room, was where the camera is and where the left high, the left high, and in this case, the bottom right, which now gives the X, Y, and Z coordinates to your room. Your
Exactly. Okay, so we're done with this section here. We're going to go to keying. Now, keying is going to allow you to chroma key out. So this is a little bit of finicky. Now, we're not going to spend too much time on this, but your whole goal here is to pick the color of your green screen. In this case, it is green. So we're going to keep it there. Where did I go with that? Hold on here. Sorry. We're going to keep it green. But these thresholds will allow you to start changing. If you notice, if I bring these thresholds down, I'm adding a lot of green in the background. Your whole goal is to mess with the threshold so you're just eliminating any of the virtual green from around his body. And the smoothness will actually help. If you notice here, I'm actually pulling it away a little bit. I'm going to keep the smoothness down.
Add a little bit more.
I'm going to add a little bit more threshold.
You just want to get that green halo.
Yeah, I just want to get the green halo.
I think that's
and
pretty
we have the
decent.
lights back on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that's pretty decent. That's
Yeah.
good enough for.
So that's good enough for. Let me turn it. Yeah, that's good enough for what we're trying to do now. Now, the more lighting you have, the better it is. But keep in mind, the Xbox 360 camera has a low resolution. If you go with the Xbox One, you're going to bump up this resolution, and that's the point of the next video. So we're going to go ahead and do that in the next video.
If you're doing it the setup with where we're doing it, you want to make sure that the enable, static, virtual, and tracker is checked on the bottom of that screen.
Yes, down here.
Yeah.
Enable, static, and then tracker.
Okay.
All right. So your next part is important. You're going to go to crop and flip. Now
this
we
is best
recommend.
if you could do this without anything running, but if he goes to crop and flip,
You're not going to
because
see
this is
anything.
black, you're not going to see anything. So our suggestion at this point is to actually run the game that you're going to play. So Bob, why don't you switch back to the live camera?
Yeah, I'll switch back, and then I'm going to actually run.
Bob's going to run Beat Saber. It's
Okay, we're going to run it here.
Did you close it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, do you have the? Oh, I need to change the config file.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
close that back down.
Here's something. If you are running a virtual avatar, then you don't want to run Beat Saber like this. So let me I'm going to kill this out again. Sorry, and then I'm going to kill the virtual avatar. So just bear with me for 1 second.
It's under there. There. So if you did do the virtual camera, there's a camera plus config file. Right click on camera plus config.
And then open with.
and uncheck that.
All right, and then
And then change the third person camera from true to false.
Okay. I forgot we were testing it.
And also, this is a good thing to do too. While Bob has the game menu open, copy the config file to whatever the config file that you saved in your directory on your desktop or wherever you saved it to. Copy it into the game that you're trying to play. Copy it into the folder with the executable.
Now, when you say game file, you're talking about the virtual camera.
The virtual camera that you
So-
just saved to the desktop.
right.
Copy that to this. So copy that into there.
Okay, so let me get over here. Let me open up another one. And then we're going to go into desktop. Why did I?
You open up the browser. Sorry. It's right there, desktop.
And then external camera
Yeah.
config.
So Bob's copying the external camera, and he's placing it in the Beat Saber directory. Now, normally when you launch LIV and select the game from the virtual camera, I mean from the LIV and tell it to launch, it's going to automatically do that for you. But in our case, because we're doing it manually, we're copying the file over.
Okay, so right now I'm going to point it to the Beat Saber. So I'm going to go back to capture. Oh, let me save this. And then we're going to go back to capture. And I'm just going to go to manual just to show you how to do manual. I'm going to do Beat Saber because Beat Saber is running right now. And you'll notice that Beat Saber is Bill is in Beat Saber.
Right.
So now I have to go back to camera, and then I have to go to edit because that's what you were just doing. And then we want to go to crop and flip.
Yeah, because you notice this side here is cut off.
Right. So what you want to do is you're looking for the left, and you're going to add portions of the game to the left-hand side. So you'll notice that as I keep hitting this plus sign, I'm actually...
Oh, wait, Bob, you're still on us. You're still on our camera.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. There you go. Okay, sorry. So it was, let me just remove what I was talking about. So this is what it looked like when we just started. Okay, so you notice that on the left.
What he did was, I'm sorry, cancel
Yeah, I'm
out
gonna
of that
get-
because they didn't catch that.
So yeah, I'm going to go out of that. So we went to camera.
We went to capture and told it to capture manual Beat
Yeah,
Saber.
okay, so manual. And then we clicked on target. We clicked on Beat Saber. And then it brought in Beat Saber into
the
the
game.
virtual desktop. Then we go to camera. Here's the one that we added. We're going to edit it. And then we're going to go to crop and flipping. And the goal is, now there's a good chance that you're going to have black here on the left and black here on the right. And we do see a little bit of black here. I'm going to eliminate that, but I'm going to start with the left. So the left, I'm going to go ahead and start adding some of the game to the left-hand side. And the goal was to try to eliminate as much as the black as possible. So let me just make sure I didn't add too much. You'll see I still have a piece of the black, but there we go. So that's looking good here. And now we want to try to get rid of this black over here. So I'm going to add a little bit of the right. Oh, that's actually the view. That's actually the way it's viewing. So I'm not going to add anything to the right because that's OBS showing it that way. So let me just kill that. All right. So that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you could tinker with this. We're doing this pretty quick, but you want to tinker with as much as you can, trying to get everything set up. So I'm going to save this.
Save that.
Okay. And then
Just drag that window out of the side.
I'm just going to move this
So
way.
now you can play. If I play a game, I'm actually in the game right now.
That's
So-
probably hard for you to hear, but
So I'm just gonna pick because I'm not an expert. And you'll notice
I'm going to turn the volume down just a little bit.
that I'm actually in the game.
Oh,
now.
your avatar is still on, dude.
Is it?
Yeah, we're going to have to kill that.
Okay, so the game, so now it's in there. There's actually, yeah, we're not gonna do that.
So I'm gonna kill the game. I'm gonna kill the avatar while
Okay.
you're explaining that, and I'm gonna bring you back up.
Do you know how to kill the avatar?
I thought I did, but
No, I don't. I think you have to uninstall the VirtualCam DLL file. Do that. So go ahead, close out the game. There's
okay.
a-
And then I'm gonna switch over to you.
Yeah, switch to me.
There you go. Hey, we're back.
Go back into. You can click. Oh, yeah, it's there. Down at the bottom, or top. Yeah. Second one down. And then look for. I think it's plugins. And Camera Plus. Remove that.
Oh, couldn't I just edit that?
You could, but I could just put it back in again.
Okay, so now let's launch it again.
Yep. Okay. I think we're good.
All right, we are launching it again. Bill should show up. Hold on,
And now
let me
he's got to
switch
go
over.
back into Live. Tell it to launch the executable.
Okay, so hold on.
It's right down there. Right there.
Okay, I'm just going to drag this over just so you could see it. Okay, so I got to go back
It should
to.
have kept all that settings that he had. So, all
So
he's
I'm going to
gonna
go
do-
and capture the executable Beat Saber. Notice that it already kept everything.
I think I seen the avatar again. Is it there?
Yeah, it's still there.
All right. Well, in your game, the avatar is not going to be there.
Yeah, so you won't have the avatar in there. We were messing around with the avatar.
Okay. So in addition to this, what you can do is if you go into the settings of Beat Saber, go into the settings, go into, let's go back to the menu, and let's say you want to move your room.
You have to go all the way back.
If I go all the way back, and
Oh wait, I'm sorry. They're not seeing you. There you go.
if I go all the way back to settings, let me cancel this, click on settings, you'll now have a room adjustment on your left. And I can rotate my room.
Now Bill was seeing this in the game.
Right. So I can rotate my room so you get a different angle on your game view. So that's how people like switch the other thing. The other thing is they use something called advanced
Hi, Forrest.
what's it called? Advanced settings for the VR.
Yeah, advanced settings for VR.
And that will allow you to rotate your play area as well. So you can, between these two, all these settings here, you can move the room. Like if you want to become, I'll give you an example. Let's say I think I'm too big in the game. Ignore the avatar for a second. Let's say I'm too big in the game. What you want to do is, I can move the play area out. See, actually on my screen, you can see my footprints are going in. Then step forward, and I become smaller because in my play area, my actual room, the further away I am from the camera, the smaller I am.
So in other words, what he's doing is he's positioning the game so it's further away from the actual 360 camera.
Right. So
Then
I'm
he's stepping
moving back.
forward.
You just got to be careful that you don't hit the end of your play area. So that's another way of making yourself look at a smaller size inside the game.
All right. So one more time, we're going to kill Beat Saber. We're going to try to kill the avatar.
Yeah, okay.
And then we'll launch it one more time. So I'm going to switch over to me. We're going to try to kill the Beat
Just kill
Saber
the
one.
default avatar.
Yeah. Let me do that. And then we'll show you what it looks like without the avatar. And I apologize, we forgot
It
the
sounds like you
avatar.
still have Beat Saber running.
Oh crap! Hold on. Okay, kill Beat Saber.
Hey, do you want to put me on? Oh, I am on. Okay.
Okay, and then we're going to go into plugins. And we're
Forrest,
going
how
to
you
kill that.
doing?
Okay, and then that should be it, right?
Yeah.
Let's see
try
what
that.
happens there.
Just go back one. There you go.
Okay, so we're going to launch Beat Saber again. Okay, and then I want to switch over to live. And I'm going to show this one more time so that you just get the idea. So here is the test op view. We're going to go into camera.
No, go back up.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to go into capture, manual, target. We're going to do Beat Saber one more time. And let's see if the avatar shows up. If the avatar doesn't show up, more than likely you're not going to have an avatar. So, no, your avatar's gone.
Okay.
Now, one thing that we recommend is you not suck while you're doing that.
Yeah, and I like to tell you,
You just turn down the game audio for a little bit.
now, one of the other people said that they had a sync issue.
A sync issue?
Yeah, with the audio, we're not experiencing that.
So, dude, can you change your camera angle so it's more of a left view?
Yeah, we could do that.
Just so that you can see,
I'm
so-
going to move myself back too. So
Yeah, because your feet, now we can see your feet. So notice he's not standing on his feet.
okay, so I'm going to move the feet back.
Okay, so yeah, keep going that way a little bit more. There you go. I think
There?
that would be a little bit better. Yeah.
And I'm going to move the feet back so I'm not hitting my play area.
Yeah, I think you're a little bit big. So can you go forward?
Okay, yeah.
So move it forward a little bit. And then step forward.
Is that good?
Yeah, now step forward. There you go.
Is that good view?
That's a little better, yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you could step completely out of camera view, it'd probably be the best. But, we'll go with that.
Okay, so now let's show how the real game is played.
Okay. So, so if you're looking at what's going on here, you would have typically been required to have an entire green screen going here. So this is not bad when it comes to not having it. Now, we did this quick. We could have tinkered a little bit more with the settings, a little bit more with the lighting, but we decided not to do that. Turn down the audio of the game so that you wouldn't be annoyed with all the misses. Because when you miss, you make a sound, and who wants to hear that? Now, sucking would be a good idea not doing while you're on live stream. I'm just saying. So, how many? I mean, you missed quite a bit, right?
I'm a living legend. You ain't heard yet, you not get the message. From the moment that I'm stepping in, I get a couple weapons, yeah, I turn to a beast when I'm repping. I'm a living legend. You ain't heard yet, you not get the message. From the moment that I'm stepping in, I get a couple weapons, yeah, I turn to a beast when I'm repping.
Okay, we're going to
I think that's good.
I'm on my way to be.
Okay, so
Let me switch over. All right. So, hey, we did it in one take. How about that?
so in our next video,
Yeah, now this one's going to be a doozy. So you're looking at the resolution and you're going, okay, resolution is okay. It's not great. But I got to tell you, if you tinker with it a little bit more, it does make for a good video. I mean, we enjoyed it.
yeah. So make sure you subscribe because in the next video we're going to take in this with the Xbox One version, which has a higher resolution. We're going to be modding this. We both got power cables and the USB cables. And what we're planning on doing is we're going to take this thing apart and we're going to take the power cables and we're going to supply it power because the cable is extremely expensive. And we're going to hook up the USB and we're going to do the same game, except we're going to do it in a higher resolution and hopefully that will look a lot better.
Yeah, it'll give you a comparison. Now, again, warning, you can just buy the power cable for that device, but you're going to typically spend $60, $70, $80, upwards to $200. We're trying to find a cheaper way of doing it, which requires some editing. Some modding. So we're going to mod that. So if you're not afraid to pick up a soldering iron, you might want to join us because that one's going to be a venture. Either we're going to fry an Xbox One Kinect and a computer, or we're going to be very successful and we get better resolution on some of the games.
Right. So that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Make sure you
Appreciate it.
comment, like, sub.
And we appreciate all the subscribers. The subscribers channel's growing fast.
Yeah,
so we
very fast.
appreciate all the subscribers. Like, do that, all that good stuff. Hit the bell notification so that you can get updated on that next
Yeah,
video.
because you want to get notified.
Oh, you do. You do.
Okay. Thank
All right.
you, everyone, for joining. Till the next time, Bill and Bob, we are out.
Peace.